Hello, yeah. On which, on which platform? Okay, I think it's coming on. On which platform? Okay, I think it's coming. Uh, so people are watching one even second. All right. So can you see my screen? Is it like on Telegram? Can you see my screen? All right. So let's begin. So as I'm saying, I wanted to like I took just a demonstration something on. It's happened around the it happened around what do you call it? It happened around the Asian session. Okay, it was around, and that is something against, or that is against my trading plan. It's this candle formed around. You see, through it was 3 o'clock. That time I was awake. Okay, so I said, oh, let me just take a demo and see how it will happen because everything is pointing up. Okay, from Friday you have been projecting this by the candle has been consolidating. Okay, and what moved the market this morning was what moved the market this morning was this news event, the claimant count change. This is what moved the market this morning. You get it? So let me analyze everything for you to know what we projected for. So the direction of the market, you can get it by getting the entry is the most difficult part. As I always say, getting the entry is sometimes the most difficult thing to ever do, or to getting the entry is the most difficult part about trading. Okay, so as I explained earlier, we have difference between the setup and the entry. Setup is very easy, how to project or to know your bias and other stuff. So knowing the bias for me, for instance, knowing my bias is I can say like 90% accurate. When I predict the market, 90% accurate. Okay, but the most difficult part is sometimes getting the entry. Sometimes we used to miss the trade and other stuff. So on the monthly time frame, you see it has rejected on this key level on the monthly time frame. So this a resistance, a support area. It has rejected on a key level. Okay, it has rejected on a key level on the monthly time frame. So on weekly time frame, you see it has this. It's rejected on this key level. So the monthly and the weekly. So I was even surprised on Friday. This point got broke. This area got broken, but it's part of the market. Okay, because monthly and weekly are meeting at the same level. Monthly time frame and weekly time frame are meeting at the same time, the same level. So I was even surprised it got broken, or yeah, it got broken on Friday. I was surprised, but it's part of the market. You have absolutely you have nothing to do about it. You have less control about the market. What the only thing that you have control over is what your stop loss, how to where to place your stop loss and where to take your profit. That's the only thing that you have control over in the market. The rest you leave it to you leave it to the market. You can't do anything about it. So it's it's sorry, it broke out. It's retested. Okay, it broke out, retested. So what are you expecting? A continuation. Okay, it's retested on this key level. It's risk tested on this key level. So what you are expecting is what? A trend continuation. But on Friday, unfortunately, it tried to wig down very deep, and it's continue again. So next week, the swing trade that you can take on GU is supposing maybe the weekly candle close something like this. It will be a nice what swing trade if it's close something like this. So you'll be watching this thing. If maybe, I'm not sure you'll be able to get, because we have a lot of high impact news within this week. We have what do you call it, we have CPI on on the pound. We have retail sales on the pound. So I'm not sure it will be something like this. You get it? I'm not sure it will be something like this. It will either move it will move very at a high speed, or it will retrace. So it depends. Maybe this point will get filled within this week, but I suppose maybe this week is closing like this. It will be a nice swing trade. By what, we will take a buy over here and trend with what, we take something like this, the break of this one, then we take buy. Because this week, for instance, anytime that you analyze the market, you have to check what is going on. So today, one news event, one high impact news on the pound has been released. That's the Clement count change. But on Wednesday, tomorrow, we are going to have CPI. So I will try and come early so that I will show you how you can trade the news. Okay, I'll try and so tomorrow it's very simple. You just set buy stop and sell stop. So those who have money to gamble, it's normally like a gambling. Okay, it's normally like a gambling, because you have no, your control on trading the news is different from the way you analyze the market normally at the usual times. So I'll show you how you'll be trading the CPI. Even today, you would have by Clement claims. It's also high impact news, but sometimes it's not impactful like the CPI and the retail sales. So tomorrow we have CPI. So I hope you know I understand. By this time, you have to understand CPI. CPI simply means what? Inflation data. Okay, is the as in the cost of goods and services. Okay, so it's something that impacts, or it's something that affect the currency that you trade. If goods and services are very high in an economy, it is good for the economy. Okay, because interest rates will be increased. If interest rates increase, what will happen? Sorry, if interest rates increase, it helps the economy, because more investors will like to invest in such country and other stuff. People will keep their money in pounds because interest rates is very high. So CPI is very, if the numbers are very high, it will trigger, or it will move the central bank of the UK central bank to what, increase their interest rate, which is very good for the economy. So now they are projecting a very high numbers. Okay, so this is for tomorrow. You will talk about it tomorrow. And on Thursday too, we have what, GDP. Friday we have retail. So today, this week is very as in very impactful for the pound dollar, the pound currencies. Who is that? Who is that? Is that my end? Brainy, please kindly adjust your background. So it's retested on this one. So on the daily time frame, for instance, so on daily time frame, Friday, I said we are what, trading a retracement. I said we are trading a retracement in the sense that the we are trading a retracement in the sense that the daily time frame is a downtrend. In the it did what, lower low, lower high, lower low. Okay, so it is now retesting on this key area. Okay, it's now retesting on this key area. So what I said is what, you are trading a retracement on the daily time frame, but when you move to the H4 time frame, it's an impulse move, or it's a move that is what, in accordance with the trend. You are trading a trend in the H4 time frame. So I said it exactly. So this is the point that you are expecting the market to retest. So I was even thinking something like this will happen yesterday. It will retest on this side. The daily candle is going to close bearish. I was thinking maybe the daily candle is going to close bearish, break above this one, to be something like this. That's what I was expecting yesterday. A bearish candle like this. Okay, a bearish candle like this. Then we take a sell. That would be a swing trade, a sell. Then we target this one. But unfortunately, the trend continued. Okay, the trend continued. So now it's trying to, if it breaks this one, then daily is what, an uptrend, and H1 is an uptrend. But currently, the daily is what, a down, daily is what, a downtrend. It hasn't closed yet. So wicks, I don't take wicks into consideration when I'm trying to determine the trend or my bias or the direction of the market. I don't take wicks into consideration. Okay, you have to wait for the trend, the candle to break and close before you make a decision on either an uptrend or a downtrend. Okay, so when you move to H4 time frame, so as I said, we are trading a correction or a retracement on what, the daily time frame. So this is the point that I was targeting. H4 is what, an uptrend. So you usually trade the daily and the H4 time frame. Anything lesser or lower than those time frames, you don't pay attention to them according to the focus or the buyers. Okay, so this is the point. So after identifying your buyers, the next thing is what, identifying your key levels, the area of interest. So when you talk about the area of interest, where price or the candles are sensitive to those levels. So this is the point. So this is the Asian session candle. Okay, so this is the candle. So you can see this candle, this 12, this, it was around 9 o'clock, right? So 9 o'clock candle what broke above. So at normal on maybe lending session, we would have even taken a buy over here. Then this point will be our target. But that was outside our trading session, outside our trading hours. We don't do that thing. We respect our trading hours. The time of the day is very important, so we respect the time of the day. So when you move to H1 time frame, so this is the point, or this is the area I would have taken a sell in case maybe you are in what, we are in lending session. So when you come to this side, there was what, uh, a support over there. Okay, there was a support over there. So this is the point I took the entry. I took the entry over here. Okay, I took the entry over here. I took the entry over here. So because on the H1, I took the entry on H1 time frame in the sense that what, we have a zone over here. So the moment the price will get to this point, you break even. Okay, you break even, then you allow it to reach your target. So this is the target. So this is the claimant claims candle. This is the news events candle. Okay, so the 6 o'clock candle move it very fast. So that's how it works. It's very simple. The way I trade is very simple. It's very simple and very profitable way of what, trading. So the target was at this point. So you see, the moment the price go to that side, it is trying to retrace. You get it? It is trying to retrace. So that's the most important thing about this strategy. If you understand it, your projection and where, yeah, I remember those times I used to get confused on where to take profit. It took me a very long time for me to figure out where to even take profit. Okay, so everything was try and error, and later we finally landed on this way of what, taking profit. So that's on GU. So now what you are going to expect for today on GU is, so when you move to the daily time frame, so let me see whether you have some key levels on the weekly time frame. So the weekly is doing a thing. We're expecting it to what, move to this side on the weekly time frame. Okay, because this thing, so if you guys pay attention to patterns, this same thing has happened before. So it's this same, so you see the retracement is the same thing that happens over here. It retrace, continue, it retrace. What are you expecting? A continuation. So this was the point. So if you pay attention to patterns, if you really pay attention, you see this one's what, it's made what, it made a breakout, a retest, And what are you expecting? A continuation. Is it not the same thing that is happening? It's the same thing that is happening over here. Okay, it's the same thing that is happening over here. So the patterns repeat itself. The patterns in the market really repeat itself. So when you move to the daily time frame, when you move to the daily time frame for today, so on the weekly time frame, you are expecting a bullish movement. So when you move to the daily time frame, so we have on the daily time frame, you have a resistance over here. So you are going to project what you are going to expect today. So for today, for the sell, where we are going to look for a sell, since this candle hasn't closed yet, I'm not going to look for a sell over here. I'll be expecting a sell over here on the daily time frame. That's the point I'm going to look for a sell. At this point, I'm not going to look for a sell over. So today, I'm going to focus on the H4 time frame. So on the H4 time frame, I knew perfectly that this point is going to be rejected, because if you look left, you have a lot of consolidations over here. You have a lot of consolidations. You have a lot of you have a key level over here. You have a key level over here. You have a key level over here. So you see how strong this area is. And when you move to the daily time frame, on the daily time frame too, this is a resistance. Okay, but when you move to H4 time frame, it points out that this point is a strong area. Okay, it's a strong area. So on H4, we have a key level over there. So I hope you can see how strong the area is. Okay, a key level over here. So this point is a strong. So the area you are going to take a buy. Okay, what you are going to do, well, you are going to wait for the breakout of this one. So when you move to the H1 time frame, so you have already missed the first move. Okay, you have missed the first move. So you have to wait patiently and wait for the second move. So the second move is going to be above this one. We are going to wait for a breakout, a retest, then what, a trend continuation to the next level. So as I said, the market moves from zone to zone. Okay, from zone to zone. That's how you trade. You trade from zone to zone. That's the easiest way to trade. So you are going to wait for, now it is at this point, there's no entry now. Okay, there's no entry now. You've already missed the move. There's no entry now. So we are going to wait for the breakouts, a retest, then what, a trend continuation. So as I'm saying, the buy was supposed to be at this point, but because of what, if you miss the move, it has moved. So I always say, like, the most important, it's not, you don't have to be bothered about missing it. If you really want to take it, if you want to take it seriously, you don't have to be bothered about what do you call it, you don't have to be bothered about missing trade and missing trade and those things is not part. Like, I'm not even bothered on missing trade, you get it. I'm not even bothered about missing trade. The most important thing to me is what, if my projection goes, and now I'm very confident, I can see myself in the next maybe 5 months or from next year moving. You don't have to be surprised when I start withdrawing big money from the market, because now I've found my feet in the market. I've found the way the market moves. So if I'm betting big on this market from next year going, or maybe from the month to come, if you see me getting big money from the market, don't be surprised. Okay, so that's how it works. If you become comfortable, if you become very confident in your system, if you become very confident in your system, the rest is what, you print money from the market. I'm not saying you are not going to lose trade. Sometimes you lose trade, but you guys can see for yourself how I've been predicting the market, like, and those who have also been testing the system, how they've been able to do it. You get it. So that's how it works. So you don't have to be bothered for now if you are not getting the strategy. The most important thing, if you analyze and the thing goes in your favor, is the same thing will happen to the time that you trade your session. The same pattern will happen. But if you have missed it today, it doesn't mean you are not going to get it anymore. It will perfectly happen. I can show you back to back pattern, the same thing that has happened, and you guys saw it last, was it last 2 weeks? It happens last 2 weeks. Okay, so don't be bothered about missing trades, and that's, it's part of the game. You can't do anything about it. The most important thing, you have to be disciplined on what, obeying your trading plan. This movies was outside my trading plan, so I don't have to be taking around 3 a.m. GMT, that's Ghana time. I don't have to be taking trades. I don't have to be inputting trades because it is outside my trading plan. I don't trade during those times, and I knew perfectly that there was low volume during those times, so I don't have to be taking trades, and I missed it. And I'm very confident and I'm very sure that it will happen during the New York session. Sorry, it will happen during the lending session again. So the same pattern will happen, and we can do back testing, and I can show you the trades that have been taken in the past that the same thing happens. So don't be bothered about missing trade. Okay. So now we are waiting for is what, a breakout, a retest, and a trend continuation. A trend continuation. So I'm going to send a trade to you to show you that I'm sending it to you on the private group. That I really knew what I was doing. Okay. I really knew what I was doing. So let's move to gold. So on gold, so you see, you guys are very fortunate. Was it this done? I was scrolling to take what do you call it? Twitter, and I saw one big influencer saying gold. I used to be following that person. Gold is going to sell if it got to this side, and I told the person, since daily is an uptrend, H4 is an uptrend. You don't have to be going for what. You don't have to go for. You don't have to be going. You don't have to go for what, a sell, because if you do that thing, you are going to be bent out. You are going to trade against the main direction of the market. And an influencer, someone who is having a huge followers, okay, and this is how the person trades. The person just trade on what, the support and resistances. The person trade on support and so this strategy, I would say, the way you are going to, if you take it serious, the way you are going to predict the market, you are going to even be surprised about it. Okay, you are going to predict the market like maybe you are an insider. You are going to predict the market like you are an insider. Okay. So if the daily and H4 are in the same direction, don't try and sell or don't try to buy. If maybe the market is buying, don't try to sell. If the market is selling, don't try to buy. That's how it works. So on the daily time frame, on the weekly time, on the monthly time frame, first of all, let's move. Also, gold is on all time high. So we have a resistance over here. We have a resistance, a support over there. On the daily time frame, on the daily time frame, we have what, a resistance over there on the daily time frame. So if you are confused on how I draw the support and resistance, kindly go through the course. I've done a video about it. This is not the uh, period I'm going to show you how to draw it. So when you move to the H4 time frame, so when you move to the H4 time frame, H4 is what, a downtrend. Sorry, an uptrend. So this is the point you are expecting it to retest on. Okay, this is the point you are expecting to retest on. So when you move to H4 time frame, so now where gold is, it's very difficult. So what I'm going to urge you is, if you want to buy on gold, either you are, first of all, you are either going to wait for the H4 candle to close like this. But I'm not sure, since this candle is going to close around 9 o'clock, which is going to be far from the way the market moves. So Either it's going to form like this, then you take a buy on the flip. But this one, I have low expectation of this thing happening. Okay, so but with the sell, if you want to, sorry, you are not going to look for any sell today. Okay, this is just a short term sell, and I don't recommend that because corrections, you don't know where the market is going to correct. So I don't recommend trading correction at this point. So you have to look for a buy. So the best point to look for a buy, the best point. So maybe if you move to H1 time frame. So you have if you are taking trade on the 30 minutes, you have consolidate. You have a key level over here. You have a key level over here. But when you move to the H1 time frame, I don't with the H1, the way the H1 moves, most of the times it's not stronger area. So I don't really believe in H1 support and resistances. Okay, so I usually prefer hiding my stop beneath what do you call it, beneath H4 support or a resistance. That's the preferable area that I usually like to be taking trades on. So even though we know it's going to buy, so there was a consolidation over here. Okay, there was a consolidation over here. So at this point, maybe if you want to take, you wait for this candle to close, then you make a decision. So you are going to wait for the candle to close and we see where gold will be heading to. Because now if you take a buy, you should wait for the candle to close. Okay, you should wait for the candle to close so that you take advantage of it. So let me see the next news event. So the next news event is around 12:30, which is, so we have FOMC member Bostic speaks. Okay, PPI. So we have high impact news during the New York session. So with this news event, you count me out. I will not be around during those times. So we have 6 o'clock. So that one has happened. So the rest are all what, low and medium impact news. So let's see how the candle will close. Let's see how the candle will close. If you make an aggressive, let's see the H1 candle to close. So on Euro USD, let me see the H4. Wow, Euro USD looks good. So let me analyze everything again. So on the monthly time frame, we have what, a resistance over there. We have a support on the weekly time frame. On the weekly time frame, I have a resistance over here. I have a resistance over there. I have a resistance over here. I have a resistance over there. So let's move to the daily. So the daily, so let me see. So there was a support over here on the daily time frame. So you see what is happening on the pound, on the pound dollar. The same thing happened on Euro USD on the daily time frame. You see break, retested, a trend continuation. Okay. So when you move to the pound dollar on the daily time frame, is it on the daily time frame or on the weekly time frame? That's what I was talking about. On the weekly time frame, a breakout, retest, a trend continuation. Okay, it's the same thing that happens that has happened on what, on the Euro USD at the daily time frame. Is the same thing. It's the same thing. So let's move to the H4 time frame. On the H4 time frame, so you see, okay, on the H4 time frame, let me check on the weekly. Make sure it has touched the body exactly. So you see on the H4 time frame, this candle has broken above, but the range is very small, 11 pips, 10 pips. Okay, so let's move to the H1. So you can take a buy, on Euro USD if this candle start flipping bullish, then you target the zone. Okay, so as I said, as I've been saying, the market moves from zone to zone. If you can see it well, you see the moment it got to this zone, it's trying to retrace. So the best point you can take, it's, I don't know whether this candle, bro. So you can if this candle starts flipping bullish, is that? If this candle starts flipping bullish, you can take a buy and you target this zone. Okay, on Euro USD. So your stop loss is going to be on the H4 time frame support. Okay, on the H4 time frame support. And your target is going to be on the weekly resistance. When you move to H1, so I think this one is because of the news release on the euro. So you wait for it to flip. Okay, so that's all for the analysis. What you are expecting. At this point, any question? I think I have to mute this guy. Any question? So you are done with the analysis. So if you have any pet that you've analyzed and you want me to check it out for you too, you can, as I showed you, you click on you send me the link using your Telegram and what, I'll check it out for you. I will check it out. So you missed the trade. So even this candle has formed because of how impactful the news was. It's formed with no bottom wick. So it tells you how impactful the news was. So this zone is very strong. So I will usually I mostly call it golden zone because you have a lot of zones around this end. We have a lot of zones around that level. So the market is going to struggle to even break out because on the H4 we have a zone over here, we have a zone over here, we have a zone over here. So I normally call it golden zone. It's going to struggle. So the best entry was at this point. Even if you are taking it at H4, this point would have been the best entry. So for all this week I've been looking out for this buy. So today was the day. So yesterday it tried breaking out. So today was the day that it finally broke through. But the time that it happened wasn't the right time to take. Okay, it happened around outside our trading session. So it's okay, you missed the trade. It's part of the game. You can't win always. So that was a nice or a clean note. I hope you people have been taking note of everything that I've been doing, the patterns. So you just have to be studying the patterns. And as I've been saying, the best thing you can do is what? I'm not sure most people are doing that. Like after the stream. So since I usually record it on YouTube, the best thing you can do is what? If you try this thing for, like, let's say 6 months or 3 months, 3 to 6 months, I'm sure you are going to be good. Anytime when you close the stream, what you can do is what? Just go back the stream, watch everything, every detail, that so you see that you are going to see some similarity, you are going to see the same thing, almost the same thing that I talk about every day. Okay, then you take note, you take note, you take note. With time you get to understand whatever I'm talking about. Okay, you get to understand whatever I'm talking about, but people are not doing that. You just come and listen to me, then you just forget about everything. You are not going to be good when you are doing that. I can show you some one YouTube channel. I used to watch the person live. Okay, even though I don't trade like how the person trade. Those times during the COVID era, I was on, yeah, during the COVID era. I have to watch those times. I wasn't even having money to even buy data and other stuff. So what I would do is what? I'll wait for the live stream. After the person has finished the live stream, I will go and use MiFi to download everything. Okay, I'll go and use Wi-Fi to download the videos and watch it again. I watch it again. I watch it again. Sometimes the videos the duration for the video sometimes, like, it's like 2 hours, 3 hours. I will make sure I have to watch it so the following day too. Okay, so from Monday to Friday, the person that was doing streaming from Monday to Friday, I watch it every day. From Monday to Friday, every day I have to download. I watch. The next day I will download, watch. I did it like a year. Okay, I did it like a year. So how what I'm doing now, the way you see me analyzing the market didn't come easily. There has been a long years of work. Okay, there has been a long years of work. So that's how mostly I will recommend everyone to be doing. You have to, if you really want to take it serious. I don't know, most people, some people, I don't know how badly you want it, but if you want it very bad, you have to put in work. It's the same thing in every field of life. You have to put in work. You have to practice, practice, practice. Then you get it. That's how it works. So, like, after I'm done with the stream, you go back and watch it again. Okay, you go back and watch it again, at least, because no one is even, most of the times people have not been even asking questions. So it tells me you people are not studying. If you are studying, by all means, you find something difficult or something challenging to you, that you are not getting it. Okay, so I think I have to even give a time limit on the people in the private group. I think that one will be best, because some people are just in the group wasting slots. So I think I have to give a time limit on the time you can even access the stream. I have to give a time limit on that. I'll think about that. Or either I will do it monthly. You subscribe, then you join the free Telegram. You join the Telegram, so that other than that, then you have to watch it on YouTube. So what I'm waiting for is, I'm waiting for the breakout of, I want this zone to be I want the breakout of this zone, then I'll make a decision. Okay, then I'll make a decision. So as I said, you see how powerful the things that I've been saying is with gold. So you wait for the H1 to close. If the H1 close, then you can target the zone. Okay, you can target the zone is 47 pips. Your target is going to be your stop loss is going to be here. So you wait for it's left with 8 minutes for the candle to close. It's left with 8 minutes for the candle to close. So as I always say, you see, the way I what I said really it has played out perfectly. Okay, it has played out perfectly. So it's left with 7 minutes for the candle to close, and you are in London. You are going to enter into London open time. Okay, you are ushering into the London open time. So if you have a question, as I'm saying, if you have any question, if you have something that is bothering you, you can ask your question. If you people are not asking questions, that means you are not studying.
Hello, bro.
Yes,
Please, can you explain when you say there's a lot of consolidation?
a consolidation is when you see. Uh, I hope you know bullish candle.
Yes.
Okay, so when you see
Bullish means buy.
when you see equal bullish candle, equal bearish candle, you see equal. So we call it equal highs and equal lows. So that means the market is what consolidating. It's not trending. Okay, when you see something like this, when the bullish candle moves like this, the bearish candle moves like this. The bullish candle moves like this, bearish candle moves like this. So this is what a ranging or consolidating market. You have equal highs and equal lows. Okay, at this point you have equal highs and equal lows. So the market is not trending at this point. So the best way is for you to wait for the breakout, then you wait for the rate test, then you take a buy. So that's the meaning of consolidation.
So please explain further. So the breakout and the retest, what does it mean?
It's also the same thing as candle. So you wait for the candle to you wait for the maybe if the market is, let's say if the market is what if the market is, it has consolidated. Okay, it has consolidated like this. What I'm with a breakout means what I want the next move. I want the next move to break above the equal highs. Okay. So if it breaks above the equal highs, we call it what? A breakout. It has broken a zone. It has broken the zone. So we call it a breakout. And red test means what? It is coming back to that key level, the zone that this was the zone. Okay, you let me draw it like this. This was the zone.
Okay.
This was the zone. This was the zone. So this means what? A breakout. So break and retest means what? It is coming back to the zone or the area that it broke. Okay, it
Okay.
is coming back to the area that it broke. So this is what? A breakout, a retest. Continuation means what? It is continuing with the main trend or with the main move. That's what you call break and retest. So that's what I'm referring to. Hmm. So this pair consolidates a lot. Euro USD. I'm even surprised why people trade Euro USD. It consolidates a lot. So the consolidation I'm talking about is equal highs, equal lows, equal highs, equal lows. You don't see a clear break. Okay.
Yeah.
You don't see a clear break. Equal highs, equal lows, equal high, equal lows. So that is what I'm referring to. That is what I'm referring. So gold is like trying to. It should break above. It's still consolidating. Still finding it difficult to break out. So lending. So it's left with 50 seconds for the lending session. For the lending, this thing to. So lending, it's left with 8 seconds, 5 seconds for the lending, the candle to close. So it has closed. A new candle has formed. The point or the zone wasn't broken. Okay, the zone wasn't broken. So when you move to the 30 minutes, you can see the consolidation. Okay, you can see the consolidation. But if you want to be an aggressive trader, take the breakout of this one, then you target this zone. But one thing is with the H1 where we don't have a key like a strong area about we don't have a strong area that you are going to lean on. Okay, I prefer laying on as H4 support or daily support, but with H1, I don't have confidence in. So something like this, what happened yesterday was at this point it has broken above the what do you call it, the weekly time frame. So we have a strong belief that it is what this point is going to hold. So the daily and the H4, the higher time frames, I normally prefer buying or selling on those areas as compared to the H1 support and resistance, those levels are not stronger as compared to the H4, the daily, the weekly, the monthly. So you need to ask him lean on a stronger areas. So you see, it is retracing exactly on the level that I talked about. So it is rejecting at the level that I talked about. So as I said, it's a golden zone. So you have to always make sure you have to placing your stop loss at those levels. Mm. So Euro USD is making a deep retracement. So this week, let me see. So on the New York session, we have core CPI. So CPI. So this week we have CPI on the pound, the dollar. We have CPI on the dollar. So, as I said, with gold. So if it breaks above this one, then the target is supposed to be around this point, 48 pips. So a pair like gold, I give trade ideas. Okay, personally, I don't trade gold, but I give trade ideas on gold. The pair I trade is the pound dollar. Okay, the pound dollar. So you see how important or how powerful zones how important or how powerful zones are. So always make sure when the market, if you're taking a trade and the moment it gets to your zone, you have to you have to exist very fast. Okay, you have to take your profits very fast because the zones are going to be respected. And the reason why if you are losing a trade, these are the things that you have to factor into consideration. You have to ask yourself, were you buying on a support? Sorry, were you buying on a resistance, or you were selling on a support? Okay, so assume maybe the market has gotten to this end. Some people are some people don't check those things. If the market gets to this side, you don't have to buy at this level. We don't buy, we rather sell at this level. If the trend is in your favor, we sell at this level. You don't buy at this level. If you are buying at this level, you are just doing yourself a harm. So you see how the market is rejecting. So one reason why most people lose is because of what they don't pay attention to the various levels. Okay. They don't pay attention to these key levels. you have to pay attention to the levels. Don't buy on a resistance and you sell on what? A support. So you have to know that if the market has gotten to this side, it is going to retrace. The possibility that it's going to retrace is very high. And some people too, what they would do is what? If the market has gotten to this end, something like this, then they will start what? Selling. We don't sell on what? A support. We rather buy on a support. So if you are constantly losing in the market, you have to pay attention, or you have to factor these things into consideration. You have to be checking that. So if you are doing your back testing, you have to ask yourself, were you trading on a higher time frame support or resistance? Because for instance, if I'm taking a trade on, what do you call it? I'm taking a trade on H1 time frame. Sorry, H4 time frame. You might be seeing what? A support or resistance, so something like this on H1 on the lower time frames. But I'm not going to be bothered about those things because I know exactly that what my focus is on H1 time frame. And when I look at the H4 time frame, there's no support and resistances to these zones. So these zones are what I'm going to target. So I'm not going to be bothered about these zones. You get me? Yeah. So that's how it works. So you have to always pay attention. You have to make sure you are trading in a zone that is what we have less distraction. You get it? You have less distraction. So gold is rejecting. Good morning. Morning. Yeah. You can sell on a resistance. Yeah. But with that one comes secondary. You have to make sure you are paying attention to the you have to make sure you are paying attention to what do you call it, the direction of the market first. That's the most important thing. You have to always look to the direction of the market. So if the market is maybe an uptrend on H1 H4 time frame or on daily time frame, okay, and you've seen a resistance, the market has retested on a resistance. You don't have to be since maybe it has gotten to a weekly resistance. It doesn't mean you have to sell, okay, because your direction or your bias for the day is what? A buy, not a sell. So you are not going to be concerned or bothered about those levels. Yeah, so you have to first of all identify the direction of the market. After identifying the direction of the market, then you check you check these various zones. Then you buy on what? You buy on support, you sell on resistance. And make sure if you are buying, so as I said, if you are buying on the zones, make sure they are stronger zones like H4, the daily, and the weekly. So as I said, this one is not strong. You see, it is rejecting. So zones like H4 zone, because H4, one thing I'm always emphasizing on higher time frames are those times it takes a longer time for it to form, okay, as compared to the H1, the M30, the M15. It forms very fast, and it can be invalidated too very fast. So you have to always make sure you are, what do you call it, you are trading on a stronger areas, stronger zones. Yeah, so those zones are very important. So you see, as I said, the H1 time frame, the zone didn't hold. If it were to be the H4 time frame, it would have rejected it. So H1 M30, most of the times it's very hard to get respected. They usually don't get respected. So if you have been noticing most of the trades that have been taken, most of the times my stop loss is at what? I use the H4 candle for my stop loss. I usually prefer using H4 candle as my stop loss, and what I will lean on what a stronger area like the H4, the daily or the weekly. Okay, so the last time the trade I took on GU, for instance, the trade I took on GU, for instance, I took it over here. I took a buy over where was it? Yeah, at this point, you see, I took a buy over here around this side, around this side. So when you move to the H1 time frame, yeah, I took it over here. So my stop loss was around this side. Okay, you see, I was wigged out with the market moved 10 pips. The target was at this point. Okay, so the market made a deep retracement. This was the retracement. It wigged me out small, then what? It moved in my favor. The reason why I placed the stop loss over here is when you watch, this zone is what? A weekly zone, and at the same time a monthly zone. So I was even surprised the market came to the extent of this side before it even moved to this side. I was very, very surprised. Okay, I was very so surprised. And you see, the retracement came, it wigged me out very small. It wigged me out, then what? It went in my favor again. So it's important to know, first of all, determine your direction. If you determine your direction, the rest is secondary. Knowing your bias is very important. You are welcome. So the moment you start noticing biases are very important, you get to see that most of you'll be predicting the market like maybe you are a market maker, but meanwhile you are just studying the trend of the market. So suppose maybe if you entered over here, this point is going to be your take profit. So the moment the market gets to the candles or price get to that side, you just exit from the market. Simple. You have to always pay attention to your levels. Okay, respect or obey your take profit area. If it is take profit, you take profit. You don't have to wait for any other thing, hoping the market will move up further or it will move down further. Yes, sir. So you use the range to you use this tool. Okay. This is the tool that you use. The price range. Okay. So you click on the price range. When you click on the price range, then you measure the range. Maybe this is the zone you are targeting. So this will be the start to the end. So this is the point you are going to target. So on this is the pips. Okay, 38.6 pips. So this is the pips. So this part is not part. Okay, this is maybe the percentage increase. So the pips is what, 38 pips. I hope you can see it. 38 pips. Yeah.
Bro, I want to ask you something.
All right. You can.
Can you also can you also organize, let's say some of us who will be interested, can you also organize in-person kind of coaching?
Are you in Accra?
When we meet you physically?
Are you in Accra?
Yeah, right.
Okay. So you will,
So please think about that.
but that one needs to be expensive. Oh.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can imagine.
Okay. Yeah, I plan of doing something of that sort some time past, but I'll think about it and see. So if anything, now you are not getting the what do you call the online.
I'm getting, but I
Eh?
know it's like physically, like you are here with me here, and that will be much more easier for us to do that.
Mm, okay, so I hope you are having a day work, right? Okay, so since you're having a day work, so that means it will be on weekends. Okay, so I'll plan about it, and if anything, I'll update you. Which part of Accra are you?
I stay in Dampa, close to you, man,
Okay. Dodowa side.
on the Bree Road. Yeah, yeah, on the Bree Road.
Okay, I see.
Adenta Bree Road.
Yeah, I see. And so if I'll think about it.
Okay.
So the zone has been rejected. The zone has perfectly been rejected. Okay. So the best it was a nice setup. It was a nice setup, but I knew because of the news events, it's okay. Sometimes it happens. You miss some trades, it happens. But the most beautiful part is at least you analyze and you projected it to move and it moved. That's the most beautiful thing, because with that one you have high hopes that if it happens again and it is within your trading plan, as in the time of the day that you trade, you are going to take advantage of it and you are going to bet big on it. That's the most important thing. Okay, so if those who have joined the group for long, you can see that sometimes when I come to the stream, I'm very confident. If I see a setup and the setup is in the way according to the way I trade, I just say, oh, I'm going to buy. I'm buying at this point. You get it. I'm going to load bullets. I'm going to buy on this point. It's because I've seen it happening more often. I've seen it happening over and over again. So I'm not having any doubts on whether it will move in my favor or not. With this one, if supposing maybe it's happening around lending session, there's no high impact in, not going to hesitate to, or I'm not going to contemplate on either buy or sell. I'm just going to execute. You get it? But everything was in line with the way I trade. H4 is what? H4 is in an uptrend. H1 too is what? An uptrend. We have a clean zone at H1 time frame. So it's normal. So one thing you have to notice, not trade with trading, okay, not every day. One rule about trading, not every day is a trading day. You don't trade every day, and sometimes you can go a week and you are not getting a trade. You are always waiting for the right thing to happen. Okay, you are always waiting for the right thing to happen. But one thing you have to obey it. You have to always come to the chart. You have to always come to the chart. You don't just tell yourself, oh, yesterday I didn't get a trade, so today that means nothing will happen every day. So the more you appear before your chart, the more you appear before your chart, that is when you become good at whatever you are doing. Okay, so every day come to your chart. Every day you have to be present. Every day analyze. Every day analyze. This one is very difficult. The game is very difficult. It's not like any other skill that, because this is a skill that the profit is huge as compared to the other ones. So it's going to you have to put in more work. So every day you have to come. Every day you have to come. That's how it works. If it happens, if you get setups, fine. If you don't get any setup, cool, you move on. That's how it works. Because when you get a setup, the profits or the returns that you are going to get is bigger than the waiting. Okay. So supposing maybe you've gotten a trade over here and you are targeting this zone 29 pips, you are just risking like 12 pips. So something like 1 to 2 risk reward, which is a high profit. Okay, which is very high profit. So that's how it works. So you have to always, you don't know when or the exact time you are going to see, you are going to get what do you call it, a trade, and you are going to get an entry. So you don't have to be checking whether today you get an entry or you are not going to get an entry. You have to be present every day. Every day you have to come to the chat. Every day you have to come to the chat. That's how trading works. So it's normal if you are not getting an entry. So that's how you have to know the time of the day that it's going to be okay for you, so that you are not going to be slave to the chat. So me, after lending session, usually I don't even pay attention to the chat as compared to during the lending session. I'm mostly focused on the lending session more than any other time of the day, because I know that's the most times that I get trade setups because of the pair that I'm trading. So after lending session, I just move out. I have other businesses that too I do, so I just move out to manage my businesses and talk to my employees and other stuff. So that's how it's supposed to be done. But as a beginner, as I always say, you have to spend much time on the chat. You have to spend much time on the chat. You have to trade the lending session. You have to trade the New York session so that you see the time that you are most profitable. Okay. So for me, as I did my according to statistics, according to my records, most of my trades happen during the lending session. So I just realized that I don't have to be paying attention too much on the New York session. Okay. Because with the New York session, there are a lot of news events. A lot of news events. So the moment you focus on that session, you become very confident on the session. It's like focusing on a system. The moment you get your strategy. So my strategy, like even if I'm asleep and you call me, I'm going to what? I'm going to give you a blueprint on anything that I talk about. All the things that I talk about. Let me check on gold. I don't trade gold, but I have interest. Okay. 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 So if it has broken, then you should head to this side. You should head to this side. Hmm. So my bias is very powerful. My bias is very powerful. Sometimes I am even surprised. My bias is very powerful. Let me check Euro USD. So as I said earlier, if Euro USD flip bullish, you can target this one. If it flip bullish, you can target this one. So it's very simple. If daily is an uptrend like this is an uptrend market. This is an uptrend market. And H1 is like this. Sorry, H1 is supposed to be like, sorry, daily and H4. H4 too is printing something like this. Just move with the flow. Just move with the flow. Okay. Move with the flow. Just buy. Go to, if you find an entry on H4 time frame, buy on H4 time frame. Okay. If you find an entry on H4 time frame, buy. If you don't get any entry, if you move to H1, just look for what? A buy entry and buy. With that one, your win rate is going to increase, and stop counter trending with the main direction of the market. You start practicing or start implementing this thing in the way that you trade, and you're going to see difference. You come back and tell me. I've studied it for long, so you have to believe me. So this point should be the target. The target will be this point. You should move to this side. This is the nearest key level. When you move to the daily time frame, on the daily time frame. So if you are confused on drawing the support and resistance, the best way to do or go by it is what? You turn to a line chart. All the zones will be what? Clearly what? Be located for you to place your support and resistances on. So the same thing every day. 10 years time, you will come and you are doing the same thing. Nothing changes. So with trading, the moment you get your system, everything becomes very easy. I don't stress like as I used to stress those times. I don't stress like as I used to stress those times. Those times that I used to stress because I wasn't having a proven system that I'm relying on every day. So I used to stress up coming to the chart. I don't know exactly what I'm going to look for. But for now, I know exactly. So I just enjoy doing the thing. Everything is secondary. I just enjoy doing that thing. I just analyze within some few minutes. I finish. The rest is what's waiting. So things has become easier than as it used to be. As it used to be those times. Things are very easy now. Things are very easy. So as I said, tomorrow you will trade a CPI. So you have to come early tomorrow. Okay. You will analyze, you will interpret the news and everything. So you have to come early tomorrow. So tomorrow the stream will start early. Okay, around 5:40 because the CPI will happen around. I don't know whether sometimes, let's see whether the news, because they are expecting 2.3%, which is what higher than the previous number. So they are expecting inflation to be high. So if inflation is high in an economy, so it's good. Okay, so that means the pound is going to be strong. So you still have to, you'll be expecting still bullish. So let's see. Tomorrow you will do everything together. So you have to try and join the stream tomorrow. You have to join early morning. Okay. You start around 5 something, because the news will happen around 6 o'clock. So you have to do the analysis before the news will be released. Then you do the buy stop, then sell stop. So you have to know your pair. Okay. You have to know your pair. So as a beginner, you have to be like something like, you have to explore more. You have to analyze more charts. You have to analyze more charts. Okay. You have to explore more to know what works for you. As a beginner, you have to explore more to know what works for you. So I was thinking Euro USD will flip bullish, but it refused to. So the news events, the high impact news events are going to create bigger zones. So news are they are good. Okay, they are good because it creates more big gaps. Okay, for us to take advantage of. If there's no news events, you are not going to get big gaps to trade within. So news events, when it happens like this, they are very good. So you see something like this, it got filled. Okay, the whole of this zone has been filled. So news events are they are okay. They are okay. So this week, this is the trade that so far I've missed. So let's see. I remember last 2 weeks too. This was the trade I missed for last 2 weeks. And with last week, this was the trade. I missed this trade rather. Yeah, I missed this trade. As I missed this trade on Friday, I took this trade. Okay, on Friday I took this trade. So I think the other time too, I missed one trade over here. Yeah, this trade. This trade. This trade, yeah. So I have records of all the trades that I've taken. Sometimes I do revisit them, watch how the patterns form. I do visit them. Yes, sir.
So can we take multiple trades in a day if the signals are clear, like the chances are there for you to get it?
Oh yeah, with trading, no one is restricting you, so you can take as many as you can. Yeah, you can take as many as you can, so no one is going to restrict if you only your account size. So you have to know your leverage, okay, and the type of account size or that your account size too. Yeah, you have to know your account size and the leverage. So I with leverage itself, I don't see leverage to be, because if you are losing, you are going to lose your main capital. Okay. So if you want to see the leverage you can use, as I said earlier, the other time, with leverage, this is how to calculate it. So leverage is equal to your position size over your position size over your account size. Okay. Your position size over your account size. So if your position size is, so the position size, you have to know the lot size you are going to use. So if you are using standard lot size, you have to know that you have to use 100,000 units of currency. You are going to trade with 100,000 units of currencies, and you are trading micro lots. That means you are trading what 10,000 units of currency. You have to know that, and with sorry, the minimum is going to be 100,000 units of currency, and the micro is going to be 10,000 1,000 units of currency. So suppose maybe you are having $100 account, okay, with the $100 account, and if you want to use 0.5 as your position size, so with 0.5, that means you are controlling 10,000 units of currencies, okay. And a dollar, if you lose a dollar, you are going to lose, like, if you lose one pip, you are going to lose like $5. So your position size is going to be 5,000 units of currency if you are trading 0.5, sorry, 50,000 units of currencies. Okay, so 50,000 divided by your account size, which is 100,000. So it's going to be 5,500 is to it's going to be 500 is to 1 leverage. Okay. So those who usually ask, what leverage should I use? What leverage should I use? So this is how you can calculate it. But first of all, you have to know the risks you are risking on that your lot size or your position size you are using on your account. So this is the position size you are going to use. So 500 to 1 leverage is what you are supposed to use if you are trading. You are going to trade 50,000 units of currencies. Okay, you are going to trade 50,000 units of currencies. And supposing maybe you've already determined your this thing, you've already determined your leverage. Okay, you determine your position size, but I want to know the account size you have to use. Your account size you can trade if you are using maybe this lot size. So this is how it's going to be done. So now leverage has been given as 500. Okay, leverage has been given, and now your position size too is equal to, your position size is what, 5. Your position size is 50,000. Your position size is 50,000 divided by, yeah, divided by, you don't know the account size, your account size, your account size. So it's going to be uh 500, is it 5,000 divided by 50,000 divided by 500. That's going to be your account size you are going to use. Okay. So those who usually get confused on the leverage, the account size, and those things. So you write this formula down, then you input it over there. So it will help you to determine your account size, it will help you to determine your position size, your leverage. Okay. It will help you to determine all those things. But the most important thing is for you to understand the various lot sizes. That is the most important thing. If you understand the lot size, the rest are secondary. Okay, the rest are secondary. So as I said yesterday, if you are entering a trade, you first of all you have to determine your stop loss. So the stop loss is going to help you to know the account you are going to risk. So maybe if the stop loss is 48 pips, so now you are risking 40. So let's say maybe 50 pips as your stop loss. So you ask yourself, what loss size are you going to use with the 50 pips and comparing it to your account size? Maybe you are using $100 account, you're having 50 pips. Okay, so at this point you have to have the loss size calculations, or even last time I even showed you this very simple thing, because sometimes the trade are moving very fast, not at that moment that you are going to crack your brains on doing the calculations and those stuff. So you first of all you go to baby pips position calculator, you just input it over there. You have to make sure the instruments or the pair that you are trading are within this one. So maybe GBP USD, you are rexing, like maybe I showed you how you'll be able to calculate the percentage on the account side. Okay, I showed you how you'll be able to calculate the percentage on. So maybe you are risking 2% of your account. Your stop loss is 50 pips. Very simple. The account size is $100. So you just click on calculate. When you click on the calculate, this is the standard. You are going to use this one. You ignore the mini lot and the micro lot. This is the lot size you are going to use. So you are going to use 0.003, which is a cent account. Okay, which is a cent. 0.03. It doesn't exist, so it will be on cent. So this is how you'll be able to calculate your stop loss. So you have to always make sure you know your predetermined risk or your stop loss. That's the most important thing. I hope I've made myself clear. Yeah. So learn the lot size calculation is the most important thing. So you can just use the tool that I have showed it over there. Baby pips position size calculator. You can use that to determine those things. So GU seems like it wants to break. So gold 2 is trying to is is consolidating. It's consolidating. It's not, the movement is not that big on gold. So with GU. So let's hope maybe today we have PPI. Is it PPI? Yeah, CPI rather. Okay, today we have PPI. So PPI simply means pro- is it purchasing production? What do you call it? Finished goods. Okay, producer price index rather. So it's producer price index, and this one is consumer price index. So I think it is to determine whether how producers are able to determine whether the resources, the raw materials are expensive, or it's leading indicator of consumer inflation. When producers charge more for goods and service, the higher costs are usually passed on to the consumer. So finished goods, okay. So it's like more of, if maybe the raw materials they use to produce the goods and service becomes very high, the as in the costs are transferred to the consumers. So this data to have, it has some effect on what the CPI tool will be doing. So CPI will be US CPI. So the PPI gives a clue on what the CPI too will be doing. So if PPI is very high, it gives a clue on what the CPI, because producers are always going to transfer those costs on consumers. If you go and buy, if you are producing something or if you are supplying something and now the raw materials or at the wholesale price is very expensive, what you are going to do is what you are going to transfer those costs to consumers. You are going to share among consumers. Okay. So PPI is also, it gives a clue on what CPI will be doing. So now it's breaking. But if don't so what most people do is what they try to take an impulse trade, as in if the you have to wait for the break. Okay. And if daily something like daily time frame, don't you go to 30-minute time frame. If 30 minutes have broken, then you go and take those time frames are not stronger. If you are focusing on H4 time frame, always make sure you are waiting for the H4 candle to close. Okay, you always wait for the H4 candle to close before you make a decision. So that's how it works. So if the H4 candle close above this one, if these zones get broken, the next zone is what is going to be this point. And at this point, if it's close above this one, it hasn't given you an entry yet. Okay, because you can't put your stop loss. You have to put your stop loss over here, and you target this zone. You target this zone. So it's better if you wait for. If it breaks, you wait for what? A pullback. You wait for the pullback. Then what? You take the continuation. Then you take the continuation. That's the best way you can go by it. That's the best way you can go by it. But it hasn't closed yet, so we can't make a decision on this one. Can we can't make a decision on it now because it has not closed yet.
Hello, bro.
Yes, sir. I'm listening, please.
So would you have to decide to buy or as the candle has closed?
If the candle does what?
If the four candle forms this candle
Yeah.
close,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it depends.
you have to pay for a buy.
You have to. It depends on where it will close. It should close above this one. Okay, it should close above. You see that now the zone, because as I said, the zones always get respected. So you have to make sure the zones are the ones breaking. So this is a consolidation area. Always this point, these areas are going to be respected. These areas are going to be respected. These areas are going to be respected. So you have to always make sure what the zone, if it breaks above this one, that means what it's freely to move to this side too. You get it? You have to wait for the candle to break and close. Let the body, I hope you know the body of a candle. Yeah, so let the not the wick like this one. Oh. The body should close above this one. If the body close above this one, then you can look for a buy. That's what I'm talking about. Then you can look for a buy. So that's what always you have to look for. That's what you have to look for always. So not when the wick has broken like this one. Wicks, you don't take wicks into consideration when you are trying to confirm a structure break. You always have to use the body of the candles. Yeah, the body of the candle. So it looks like it's breaking, but it hasn't closed. It will close around 9 o'clock. Okay, it will close around 9 o'clock. So I have something to attend to. So as it is doing something like this, it can still wake down. Okay, so that's why I always say you have to wait for candle to close. This is just it can be a fake out. It can move like this and it will come back. Like you see how this one you have to know that this one was once a bullish candle. This one was once a bullish candle and it's wake down. So that's what you have to always pay attention to. So it's always you have to wait for candle to break and close before you make a decision. That's the most important thing. So it's always advised. This candle, as I'm saying, if it is moving like that, doesn't mean it has closed. If it is moving like this, it doesn't mean it has closed. You need to wait for the closure. Okay, you need to wait for. So I'll be closing the stream very soon. I'll be closing very soon. So what I'll be expecting you to do is what? This is what you have to do. You have to wait for the break. So if it breaks like this, your stop loss, it's very difficult for you to determine put your stop loss. Okay, where to put your stop loss. Because I don't have trust in the H1 candles and those candles. So you can't buy at the top like this. So the best way you can go by this is either wait for a bearish candle. Okay, you wait for a bearish candle, you wait for a bearish candle, then you take the bearish candle needs to form like this, then you take a buy. Okay, then you take a buy. That's what you have to be looking for. Okay, so as I said, this candle hasn't closed yet, so we are not certain it has closed above. In case maybe it breaks above this one, this is what you have to be doing. Okay, this is what you have to be looking for. You have to be looking for. But since I said this is a strong zone, it hasn't broke above this one. This just it can weaken. I have experience about what I'm talking about, so it can weaken. So you don't have to pay attention to wait for the candle to close. That is the most important thing. Don't take an impulse entry. Wait for the candle to close. So you see, it has even started waking down. You get it. So wait for the candle. If the candle body close above this one, then you are certain it has broken above. But with this one, it can still wake what? It can still wake within. So the most important thing, you wait for the candle to break above and close, not an ongoing candle. A candle which is in section. You have to wait for the candle to break above. Okay. So if you have a question, if there's no question, I'm going to I have something doing. So I'm down for the session. I'll watch the candle again around 9 o'clock. If there's no question, then we'll meet at the same time tomorrow. Any question? Okay, so YouTube, if you're on YouTube, if you have any question too, you can have drop my WhatsApp number on YouTube. So if I've not subscribed to the channel too, so if you are watching from YouTube and you've not subscribed to the channel, kindly do so. Subscribe to the channel. One thing I noticed, most of you are watching and you've not subscribed to the channel. So don't be, you have to subscribe to the channel and make sure you have liked the video, okay, so that the algorithm will show to people. All right. So if there was no question, we'll meet at the same time tomorrow. So it's part of the game, okay? It's part of the game. It's not every day that you get a trade, not every day that you get a trade, but you have to always be present. That's our duty. It's our responsibility. So this morning we came, the market has already moved. You were targeting this zone, it has already moved. It's fine. You will come again tomorrow. Okay. So not getting a trade shouldn't discourage you. Doing the right thing is the most important thing. Okay. Doing the right thing is the most important thing. Not getting a trade, it's not something that should bother you a lot. The most important thing is waiting for the right setup to happen, then you execute confidently. Is it me, for instance, if I take a setup and the setup is not and according to how I trade, sometimes the confidence level is not there. That's what I've noticed. But if I take a setup, everything aligns with the way I trade, I'm very confident and I don't even fear when the trade is pulling back. But if I take something that is not in according, or it's not in my trading plan or my trading system, I usually panic. So that's how it works. So sometimes you not get a trade setup. It's fine. That's the nature of the game. You still have to be present the following day. Okay. So you can go back to the stream. It has been recorded. I will put it on YouTube. You can go back and watch it again. Okay. You watch it again. You watch it again. You get something. You learn something new. All right. Thank you all for joining today's streams. See you tomorrow. Bye bye. Thank you, sir. Bye. So YouTube, thank you all for watching. Okay. See you all tomorrow. Bye.